Hello there, my name is Edward Shao, and today I'll be presenting on Project Sargasso, which is a C Corp basically trying to turn Caribbean sargassum into soil fertilizer, marine seabed substrate, and renewable energy. So the problem today is that in the Mexican Caribbean, a few months ago, there were just 24 million tons of sargassum found in the Caribbean via satellite imagery. Now, the hypothetical causes of this are untreated wastewater runoff, agricultural runoff, and an increase in ocean temperatures due to climate change. So here you can see just how extensive and pervasive this offshore continent is, stretching all the way from Mexico to Brazil. And what's so dangerous about it is that it blocks off sunlight from reaching our underwater sites, the marine ecosystems, and it basically has a lot of toxic metals embedded in it and noxious gases during decomposition, which pose a grave threat to marine biodiversity. So our solution is threefold. We will develop a sargassum fertilizer. We will process this and use it for agricultural purposes. And in that process, we have a byproduct which we'll extract to use for biogas energy as well as hydrogen. So while doing this, we'll always be working alongside local stakeholders as equals. And we'll start off in this mother base, Playa del Carmen. Now, what you're seeing in the top right here is also appearing in the coast of West Africa, the Ivory Coast, and also Florida as well. It's a big problem everywhere. Our solution will work towards UN Sustainable Development Goal 14, which is life underwater, but it'll also touch upon other SDGs as well as we outlined in the application. So our process objectives will make us just as innovative as the solution we seek to push towards, and we'll make decisions in consensus and work, with multi-stakeholder engagement throughout the entire process. So what has been done so far actually is that there's actually a shift in consciousness. People are realizing you can actually use sargassum to make notebooks. It's not all garbage to be landfilled. So people are even using it for construction materials for houses. There is already a liquid fertilizer in a bottle that the company Salgax is making, as well as shoes. So what we're doing is actually, moving into the space and building on top of the amazing work that a lot of actors have been doing in this space. So this is our Krabby Patty process. So we'll take this acidic sargassum laden with toxic metals, we'll industrially emulsify it, we'll like sort of with environmental engineering processing, will magnetically extract the toxic heavy metals, basically separate them into non-ferrous and ferrous metals. And what we're left is something that we can put in a biodigester, and it'll emit methane, all sorts of gases. But what is most important is hydrogen sulfide. So when you next go to Cancun and you see this washing up on the beach, you also smell rotten eggs. You'd be like, oh my God, what is that? That rotten egg smell is hydrogen sulfide. So once we extract that, we're basically left with something we can use as agricultural fertilizer. And not when we take this fertilizer and we add calcite and aragonite and vaterite to it, these minerals actually decompose underwater, dissolve underwater to form calcium carbonate, which is what coral reefs are made of. So we can sort of take it from the surface and process it, remove all the yucky bad things, the bad stuff out of it, and we can add stuff to it to basically make like a marine seabed substrate, like a coral vitamin, if you will, like Coral Grow. So that's another product line. And I mentioned before the hydrogen sulfide gas, right? The rotten egg smell. In power plants all over the world, there's already existing technology that can basically, like new catalysts and new fuel cells that can basically take this hydrogen sulfide and convert it, electrolyze it into energy, into hydrogen gas. So the technology is already out there. What we'll do on our end is basically miniaturize this so we can have sites like this throughout all of Mexico. Revenue sources will be that we'll sell our sargassum products, right? The fertilizer, the coral substrate, the hydrogen. We'll sell the processing projects as well as our transportation service, right? Where we contract the hotels out. Hotels, ask us to come to their sites, scoop it all up, and process it away from the cities. And we can sell the processing plants as well. Once we get the patents, we'll also sell. We'll license out that patent for our technology as well. We'll consult out our services to anyone who comes, whether they're private stakeholders, governments, counties, anything, anyone. Joint ventures, I'll go into that more later. Our future exciting roadmap that we've laid out is here for the next quarter, as well as for all of 2023, one of which actually includes definitely landing, hopefully, competitions like Ocean Collegiate Award. So whatever prize money we'll be winning in this next quarter, we'll be putting it towards investment, like the lines of environmental engineering technology that what we've already developed with the help of my team, my R&D team in Mexico, the US, and the UK as well. So this is what our work will be going to. All right. We have a wonderful core team from all over the world, diverse, not just in background, but also discipline and point of view. And we've been working together very amazingly for the last year, landing deals with and entrances into accelerators. We're working with the Audi Environmental Foundation and Galaxy FCT. That's the joint venture we were talking about. Galaxy FCT will take our hydrogen gas, convert it into a solid, and sell that to clients around the world. They're a startup that's already been around for some time. So this is the scientific basis. What we're doing with the Sargassum isn't new. It's rooted in longstanding science. So we need to start acting now. Every month, this offshore continent keeps growing and growing and poses a grave threat to marine biodiversity, food security, and tourism in the region. That soon nobody's going to want to travel to the Caribbean. So that's where Project QR steps in, and hopefully we'll start doing something about it. Thank you very much.